Today we're diving deep into Peacemaker Season 2, breaking down the story, the themes, and giving a full review including the biggest pros and cons of this wild new chapter in the DC universe. Just a heads up before we get going, there will be spoilers ahead, so if you haven't finished the season yet, this is your chance to pause and come back later. Alright, let's get into it. Season 2 picks up with Christopher Smith, better known as Peacemaker. Still reeling from the fallout of Season 1, he's trying to find his place in a world that doesn't quite know what to do with him, but this time, things get weird. The story takes Peacemaker into an alternate reality, one where his family is alive, his past mistakes never happened, and he's finally the hero he always claimed to be. It's the kind of setup that lets the show go big with its usual chaos, while exploring something surprisingly emotional underneath. Right off the bat, it's clear this season has more on its mind than just explosions and jokes. Sure, we still get the over-the-top action, the crazy fight scenes, and the kind of humor that only James Gunn can pull off. But now, there's a deeper layer. John Cena once again nails the role. He manages to balance ridiculous comedy with real vulnerability, making Peacemaker feel like a guy who's finally growing up, even if he's doing it while blasting aliens and cracking one-liners. His performance alone carries a lot of the emotional weight this season delivers. The supporting cast also gets more room to breathe. Leota Adebayo continues to be the heart of the team, Harcourt has some of her best scenes yet, and Vigilante, well, he's still as unhinged as ever but somehow more lovable than before. The group dynamic is one of the strongest parts of the show, and it's great to see the chemistry between everyone evolve. The antagonist of this film, General Flagg, is great but not as good as Peacemaker's dad as the antagonist of the first season. The new characters that were introduced were all great, but my favorite was Langston Fleury, who was one of the funniest characters out of the entire show for me. Now, let's talk about the world building. Since Peacemaker is officially tied into James Gunn's new DC universe, Season 2 leans into multiverse ideas and alternate dimensions. It's a smart move. It opens the door to new storylines and shows how Peacemaker might connect to the bigger DCU. It's full of creative visuals, weird twists, and moments that feel straight out of a comic book, without losing that gritty, grounded tone that made the first season work. But even with all that, Season 2 isn't perfect. Let's go over the cons. The first big issue is pacing. Some episodes slow down way too much. You can tell they're setting up emotional beats, but a few mid-season episodes feel like filler. The momentum that Season 1 had kind of dips here and there, especially around Episode 4, where not much happens until the final act. Another problem is that with so many new concepts, alternate worlds, emotional arcs, DCU setup, not every thread gets the attention it deserves. A few characters get lost in the shuffle, and some subplots start strong but don't really go anywhere by the finale. It's ambitious, but maybe a little too ambitious for an 8-episode season. There's also a bit of tonal whiplash. The show jumps between heartfelt drama and absurd comedy in the span of a few seconds. Sometimes it works beautifully, but other times it clashes, making emotional scenes feel less impactful because they're immediately followed by a joke or a ridiculous moment. And speaking of the ending, it's been divisive. Without spoiling too much, the finale takes some bold swings that not everyone will love. Some fans felt it wrapped up too fast, while others think it was setting up something even bigger for the next DCU phase. Either way, it doesn't quite stick the landing as neatly as the first season's ending did. Now, despite all that, the good absolutely outweighs the bad. Peacemaker Season 2 is still one of the most unique superhero shows out there. It's loud, emotional, and unapologetically weird, and that's exactly why it works. It deepens Chris Smith's character, without losing the fun or the edge that made him stand out in the first place. If you loved Season 1, you'll definitely find a lot to enjoy here. If you were on the fence before, this season might surprise you with how much heart it has beneath all the insanity. Overall, I'd say Peacemaker Season 2 is a bold, emotional, and messy step forward with a lot happening that kind of felt overwhelming, but one that shows real growth for both the character and the DC universe around him. It's not flawless and could have been better, but it's fun, it's heartfelt, and it proves that James Gunn knows exactly how to mix chaos and character in the best way possible. So, what did you think of Peacemaker Season 2? Did you love it, hate it, or fall somewhere in between?